You know, sometimes in TV series and movies they say Webster's dictionary definition. Is that this one? I'm not sure. I couldn't find it. But today we're going to be looking at this little app, I suppose I found, a web app. And I found this on producthunt, and it's using the recent GPT-3, I think it's called. Oh yeah, it's right there, so it is using that. OpenAI natural language generation to basically try and trick us into seeing whether a quote is Stoic or whether it's generated. The word Stoic commonly refers to someone who is indifferent to pain, pleasure, grief, or joy. That's the definition we'll use. Let's start. I have my coffee. I'm working on my own web app, by the way, so if you want to see it, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. I don't want to say what it is yet, but subscribe and then you'll be able to see it. I've done most of it. I've done a lot of it. I'm just setting up the servers on DigitalOcean right now. But yeah, let's go. Let's go. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. I mean, we always have to keep in mind they always translated. It's really funny that you always have English quotes from like Stoic philosophers where they probably didn't speak English. I would say this sounds like it's real because it's very coherent. But let's go real philosopher. This is the real quote from Marcus Aurelius. Great start. Any person. Oh look, you get a little tick. I like that. By the way, you can come check out this website. I'll leave a link in the description. The link might be slightly different to what you see, but that's just because I'm tracking who clicks it for personal reasons. It's so I can sell your data to Mark Zuckerberg. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Based on the definition we've just read about Stoics, where they're all about avoiding emotional responses, including anger, joy, all those things, this I think is true. Real philosopher. This is a real quote from Epictetus. Sorry if my pronunciation is bad. Wisdom grows, as does the tree, from the inside out. I mean, I'd be quite impressed if GPT-3 came up with that, but I think that's the whole point. What's this quote saying? Wisdom grows as does the tree from the inside out. Again, this kind of does fit into this whole not reacting to external things emotionally and growing from within. I'm going to go for the triple. But it also seems quite generic. It almost sounds more like a Chinese proverb. We'll do it. False. Generated. I was like, I had an inkling. I can't say I had a 50-50 because that's what it was anyway. Damn, you got me. To be angry is to revenge the faults of others upon ourselves. Whenever I see the word angry now, or like when I see emotional language, I think it's real. Maybe that's cheating. Oh, man. Alright, 2 for 4. We're being conned. Pardon me. In wisdom, we place our happiness, not in the pleasures of the body, nor in the satisfactions of ambition. These are all ephemeral. Not in the fleeting satisfaction of anger, or the petulant pleasures of self-assertion. These two are all ephemeral. Firstly, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this word correctly. Secondly, I don't know what this word means.
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral. So, lasting for a very short time. We've learnt a new word. It's good. You know what else is ephemeral? This does sound very Stoic, because they talk about the whole pleasure, pain, anger. But I'm going to be conned again. You watch. Real philosopher. No! You have to, below in the comment section, tell me how many you get right. And then you can all laugh at me. See, I'm going with AI bot. They're going to get me this time. Okay. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. No, see, that doesn't sound stoic at all. AI bot. What? I guess... Okay. 1 moment of reflection is worth 2 years of learning. The difference is not, as most people think, that the one comes quickly and the other slowly. Instead, the one lasts and the other doesn't. See, that sounds quite profound, doesn't it? But I guess GPT-3 is just a very profound entity. Maybe it's an exaggerated quote, but I disagree with it. Yes. In your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. I am going with AI bot again. Marcus Aurelius is really starting to annoy me, my dude. We are not fans. Stoic virtues age well. They are part of the blueprint of a good life. I mean, it seems like a nothingy sentence, so I'm going AI bot. Simplicity of our thoughts is in proportion to the depth of our feelings. Bot. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. Again, this doesn't strictly sound stoic. However, this isn't necessarily to do with stoicism. This is quotes by stoic philosophers, which I think is slightly different, because even if you're a philosopher with a stoic viewpoint in life, not everything you might say will necessarily agree with stoicism. I mean, this sounds generic is what I'm saying. How much more grievous I mean, it's grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it. See, I would say this aligns again, but I feel like I keep being wrong, so... Oh yes, I got you, Aurelius. You... Death is a release from the impressions of the senses, and from desires that make us their puppets, and from the vagaries. Come on, boys, let's learn a new word. An unexpected and inexplicable change in a situation or someone's behaviour. The mind. And finally, from the hard service of the flesh. This does sound like a quote from a real philosopher. Nothing to my way of thinking is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to just stop where he is and pass some time in his own company. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Let's go GPT. AI bot. This wretched time that troubles you so much is nothing but the shadow of your mind. I mean, we all knew this was 50-50. I've not read any of the great Stoic philosophers. Maybe I did at university, but I kind of forgot. Suffering. You know, philosophy is interesting because it's more like a tool, isn't it? It kind of works with... One philosophy doesn't help you with everything in life, is my kind of theory. And it's all sort of fake. Some pieces of philosophy help with certain situations, and some pieces of philosophy with other situations. I wouldn't go around living my life as a Stoic, per se, personally. Suffering arises from trying to control what is uncontrollable. What I mean is, by the way, you always get an edge case. You always find an edge case, and then you're like, okay, this philosophy no longer applies. It's kind of like science, you know? Well, it's not as accurate as science, obviously, but it's kind of, you use certain equations for when, for certain conditions, and then you sometimes have to switch equations for the same phenomenon, but in different states and whatnot. That was a bit vague, but you get what I'm saying. I guess the classic example of that is relativity and Newtonian equations. They work for some things, but not for other things. Right, moving on. Suffering arises from trying to control what is uncontrollable, or from neglecting what is within our power. See, that is something that I kind of agree with. Does it make it real? Hell yeah, it makes it real. This is a real quote from Epictetus. Epictetus? I don't know if the T is silent, but we got it right. Death question mark. Let's get it over with. Sounds like a pretentious thing that some philosopher would say, so I'll go yes. Damn. Time chooses no one, it comes to all. Real philosopher. Being mugged off. I know of no consequences in life that is more important than good health. I mean, at this point, you know, we've had... Can we get 3 GPT on the trot? No. We can. Respect the past, look with confidence to the future, and live in the present. I mean, half the time I feel like when it's been a real philosopher, it's just been the most generic quote. It's just kind of like, you know, it's like Jaden Smith tweeting something. It's kind of that thing. It's just because it's old that people respect it. I mean, I can't remember which ones. There's a lot of wrong ones. I'm gonna have to stop. I wish it gave me a percentage score as we went in live. So if you're, whoever made this, if you're watching this, that'd be cool to have like a real time. Shouldn't be too difficult to work out. But we haven't done very well. We will work it out manually. Live in the present. Real philosopher. Damn, 4 in a row. We're not going to stop until I get one right, and then we're going to stop there. The essential breeds contempt, and the great mind will be in thought to common things. Real philosopher. This is just getting really funny now, because we've had... I mean, at this point, we're not even going to read it anymore. Relationships are like mountains. He lies. Are like mountains. They take tremendous energy to go uphill, but once you get to the top, the view is beautiful. I mean, this has got to be a bot. If on finding yourself with a desire that nothing satisfies, you still do not shrug your shoulders and say, that's life, you are a lost soul. I think we've run out of real philosopher quotes. Real philosopher. There you go. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Right. Let's sum it up. Let's see where we got. So in total we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we got correct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 out of 25. You know, 10 divided by 25, it's going to be like 0.4, yeah, that's what I thought. So we got 40% right, which is pretty bad, considering that if I didn't even read them, then I would have had like a 50-50. What did I think of it? I think it was quite fun. It's a good game. This is actually good. This is just like a good idea for anyone studying it, I guess. If you're studying a bunch of famous Stoics, this is a use case. You know, if you're studying philosophy and Stoicism is in the course and you're reading a bunch of philosophers, you're like, do you even know the quotes by the real people? But also, it shows how good GPT is. Like, the fact that the sentences are just coherent in the first place, like 100% of the time, it seemed to me. That's quite incredible. It's not like, you know, if you trained a little machine learning program to generate language for you, most of the time it'll probably be incoherent, I imagine. That was quite fun. You can check this website out in the link below, like I said. And yeah, you can read about this. So thank you, Simon Coulter from Dublin. That was quite fun. And that's it for today's video. So subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment telling me how many you got right and all that business. Ciao amigos.